coming through as a young player, like I say, I still remember my debut, still remember league debut, the goal against Port Vale, and there's lots of different memories. But there's memories also that go past that. I mean, coming through the academy, playing football on a Sunday when it's raining at whatever team, with just having fun with your friends as well. You gain like another friendship group with coming to the academy, and I think that's so important. Football is a game of highs and lows. I've had moments that have been really high, and I've had moments that have been low, and they've supported me and the team throughout that. And they're so loyal, they are such a good fan base. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to them. It's been an absolute pleasure playing for the club, like I say, coming out through, and it's been an absolute pleasure playing in front of them, and I just wanted to say thank you really. Their support's been amazing in the time I've been here.
That's Harry. It's been confirmed that you'll be leaving Exeter City this summer after spending 15 years with the club since you were 8 years old. Firstly, can we just reflect on how tough a decision that must have been for you?
Yeah, it was a really tough decision. Joining the academy at 8, like you say, under 9s, and being 23 now is a really sort of long time at one club, and I've loved every moment of it. And it was a really tough decision from myself to leave at the end of the season, but I feel like it's the right step in my career. I feel like I would like a new challenge, something different to obviously what I've known for the last 15 years. So it was a really hard decision making. But like I say, in the long run, I feel it would benefit me.
Let's start by talking about those early days in the academy. You know, what do you remember from joining at such a young age?
Oh, it's quite long ago now when you think about it. But my brother was actually in the academy about 4 years or so older than me. So managed to get a trial in the academy and ended up getting in, and like I say, progressed all the way through to obviously doing my scholarship at 16 and getting offered a professional contract at 18. So long hours, like travelling, obviously train 3 nights a week, and then we play on a Sunday as well through going through. And I've got to give special credit and mention to my parents for that, because they've done countless amount of thousands of miles, taking me and my brother to games all around the country.
Still follow you around.
Yeah,
as well.
Still come to home games, of course, whenever I'm playing, and some away games. And like I say, I've got to put a special mention out to those two, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to get the opportunity to be a professional footballer, which was always my dream coming through.
I mean, yeah, what were those dreams back then? You know, a young lad from Crediton playing for in the academy for his local side. Was your dream all about making that appearance at St James Park? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I remember when, like you say, coming from Crediton, used to play for Crediton Saints, and I remember towards the end of the season, when the season had finished, my team here, I can't remember what age I would have been, maybe 7 or 8, come on and played on the pitch at St James's Park, and ever since then I've always sort of had the buzz and wanted to be a professional footballer, and like you say, to be able to come through for my hometown, and to be able to make over 100 appearances is a really proud moment for me, and it's something I could only have sort of dreamt of at that time, coming through when I was younger. So yeah, really proud, and like I say, with coming through and playing that amount of appearances for your team is something I'll always cherish.
And what values did the academy instill in you at a young age that you took forward to when you did make it on into the Exeter City first team? Yeah,
I mean, I think the academy staff are amazing. I've been with so many sort of different coaches. I wouldn't be able to name all of them now. We'll be here for a while, coming up through the age groups. But I think the main one that they sort of tell you about and help you with is being a good person as well. I think sometimes when you're coming through the academy, it can just be football, but I think it's also important to remember that there's a social aspect to it, mixing with other people that are outside of your sort of group of school friends. And like I say, just being a good person. So I feel like that was a big quality that I know they still do, or still sort of implement in the academy now. And I feel like that was a really big point coming through, was to benefit you sort of off the pitch as well as on the pitch, of being a good person as well as trying to become a good footballer.
You had your first taste of action as a sub against Yeovil Town in the EFL Trophy back in 2017, when I guess you would have probably been 17?
Yes,
back then?
Yeah, I think it's second year scholar, yeah.
What do you remember about that moment?
Well, I didn't. We played on the Saturday. I remember we played a game against Cheltenham on the Saturday and ended up winning quite heavily, and we played really well on the Saturday. And I've come in on the Monday morning, and I can't remember who it was at the time who said it. One of the staff members come to me and went, "Oh, you were the first team today." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay." Like, that obviously wasn't expecting it. Having the day off on the Sunday, come in, and then ended up training with the first team on the Monday, and got told I was going to be in the squad on the Tuesday. So obviously, as you can imagine, being 17, like I say, to make my first sort of appearance for the club, I was absolutely sort of delighted and over the moon. And then I remember in the game, I think it was Luke Kroll at the time, went down early, I think within the first 10 minutes. So I thought, I might get a little 10, 15 minutes here. It'd be really nice to get my first appearance, and ended up playing 80, 85 minutes. So that's just the way football is sometimes. Sometimes you're lucky to be able to get sort of that opportunity like I did. And like I say, I absolutely loved it. Although we lost the game, I feel it was a great sort of learning curve for me. Went back with the under-18s and took experiences and different things from being with the first team and around the first team lads. So it was really good.
I think there were a few of your age group who played that night. I think Jack Sparks scored his first goal in that game as well.
Yeah, Sparksy scored. I think Archie might have been involved at the time as well. So like I say, they're sort of different age groups to me, but all around the same sort of age. We've all sort of grown up together and come through the academy together. So that was, like I say, that was really nice to be able to get that, and so early as well.
And you had loan spells at likes of Dorchester and Taunton as well. And those were hugely important to kind of your development to get you to that point where you could play in the first team. Yeah,
I loved my time at Taunton and Dorchester as well. Sort of went on loan to Dorchester in my first year as a professional. Ended up playing pretty much every game for them in the league. And like I say, it is great to go from being at an under-18s level to going into I don't know how to explain it, but like a livelihood, if you know what I mean, going into it where points are important, points matter, and people's jobs are on the line. You need to provide with the money they're earning and things like that, and it's quite a difference. It's quite a step up from going from academy football to that, and I felt like I learned so much in that season. I was playing, like I say, every week at Dorchester. Then we played 23's Premier League Cup games. I played some Cup games for the first team as well. So it was an unbelievable season for myself. And then second year, went on loan to Taunton. Played a lot of games there. Met some people that I still keep in contact with now. Like same with Dorchester. It's always good to sort of expand your wings, broaden your horizon, and I feel like it's important that you keep in touch with those sort of people that helped you out in those moments as well. Sort of coming through as a younger lad. And I really enjoyed my time at Taunton as well. It's just a shame that was the season that got cut short by COVID, because I think we would have had a really good opportunity at pushing for a promotion that season. I think we were third or fourth in the table at that point. So it was a shame that was the one that got sort of called off because of COVID.
I think it was at those two clubs that we saw a glimpse of that, fabulous long-range strike that you had in your armour as well. Scored a few decent goals in your loan spells. Yeah, I scored a couple of nice ones at Dorchester. Probably more Dorchester than I did at Taunton. I scored a couple at Taunton, but they probably weren't as nice as they were for Dorchester. So it's always nice for people to remember those sort of goals. Yeah. And again, you had a taste of first team action in the EFL Trophy during COVID times. Scored your first goal away at Swindon Town in that crazy 4-3 game. If I remember correctly, you telling us afterwards that you think it was more of a cross than a shot.
I knew you were going to say that when you mentioned that. That was a really good experience, and it was for me at the time. Then when I was in and around the first team, I was sort of in and out of the team, so it's great to get minutes in those sort of competitions. And we always took those competitions, and we do now. We always take those competitions seriously because they're great for minutes for lads that are out the squad and for younger players, and also lads that have been getting minutes might be coming back from injury and different things like that. So I remember that game sort of as clear as day, really. And it was a cross, but we won't tell anyone about that. Obviously it was a really nice moment for me to be able to get that goal, even if I meant it or not. They all count. So it was really good.
And you made your league debut in 2020 against Scunthorpe United as well. Back then, obviously, it was the COVID pandemic, so there were no fans in the stadium. I mean, what was it like? I guess you had the excitement of playing for the first team, but things were a little bit different then, because obviously like your family wouldn't be here and stuff to see it. Yeah, I mean,
obviously when I knew I was going to be playing, my family were straight on the iFollow watching it from home. And like I say, it was great to be able to make my league debut. It is a shame that there was no fans here. Obviously, I've loved to have been at a full St James's Park and been able to sort of share that experience with them. But no, it was great. Obviously, to get the win as well on the day was really good. But obviously, as everyone knows, it was a strange experience playing in a ground. They were usually sort of 1 o'clock kickoffs, so it was sort of up in the morning, have a bit of food, off to the ground, and it's different to sort of what a normal Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff is, if you know what I mean, with fans. So, like I say, I was absolutely delighted to make my debut then. It's just a shame it wasn't in front of all our loyal fans.
And then you get 4 more appearances in the league that season as well. I mean, did that really kind of spur you on to make you hungry to kind of stamp your name on the team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, when I played against Scunthorpe, I knew I might get some more games between then and the end of the season. It was just waiting for the opportunity. I mean, we had a really strong squad that season for League Two. We knew we'd sort of be pushing up the right end of League Two. And like you say, when you get a taste of it, it just spurs you on to try and get as many minutes as you can. And it was always nice to try and get another couple of appearances and sort of try and push on again next season.
And the following season was a special one for the club as well. You made 20 appearances as we were finally promoted from League Two. I mean, what are your memories of that season? Obviously, you got to play in front of fans as well.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And I think if I was to describe one moment of probably a highlight of my time at Exeter, would be that promotion. I mean, it was sort of in the making for the club for a good number of years. We were always pushing up the right end of League Two, and we were always so close to obviously the playoff finals and things like that. So to be able to get over the line was unbelievable. And I remember the game here against Barrow and all the fans running on the pitch, and they're memories that last a lifetime. And I remember running on the pitch at the time with all of the lads that were there, the younger lads that have contributed as well, lads that are out on loan, the lads that have played the majority of the games, the lads that might have been injured but haven't featured as much, just the whole squad. You had all the fans here coming on, you had the management, you had the players, you had you guys, the media guys, you had everyone, do you know what I mean? And Exeter is such a family club, so it's great to be able to share those memories here, and we're so lucky that we were able to do it here rather than having an away following, if you know what I mean, and everyone was able to share the moment together.
And you've been around the club long enough that you were part of the setup when we missed out on Wembley those years and came close so many times. I mean, it must have been amazing to be part of that team that finally, after 10 years, got us promoted back to League One. Yeah, and like I say, I think when you come through the academy, it's always a highlight to break into the first team and play as many games as possible. And I've been fortunate and lucky enough to be able to make 100 appearances, which is a huge milestone for myself. And then to be able to top that off with getting a promotion at the club, like I say, the club's been so close to getting, was just a great feeling to be involved in that. That season as well, you scored your first league goal, and what a strike that was against Bristol Rovers. And that was actually, I think, our first goal of the season in the league, wasn't it? So
yeah.
A good way to kick off.
Yeah.
What was a successful season?
We ended up scoring about 4 in 25 minutes, I think it was, in that game, wasn't it? So, I remember we went to Barrow on the Tuesday night and started in that game and done quite well in that. And I remember coming in on the Thursday and Friday, and Matty at the time, the manager, spoke to me and said, "Oh, you'll start on Saturday," like that. And as you can imagine, I'm absolutely delighted being sort of with a team that's close as well, if you know what I mean. And it was great to be able to score my first goal. I've still got a picture of it at home now. With me celebrating, running off towards a stand, and you can see my partner Jordan and my parents in the stand celebrating and everything like that. So it's such a nice moment to be able to do that and to share that with family as well. So the season just gone, obviously our first back in League One. You made 44 appearances, so the most of your career so far, and in League One as well. I mean, how did you find the step up in quality from League Two to League One? Yeah, it's great to be able to play that number of games. It's a competitive league, as we know. You've got some big hitters in this league, like the Sheffield Wednesday, the Ipswiches last year, and also this year, and the boys that are sort of up the top. And like you say, it is a really competitive league, and I think there is a jump between what I was playing in League Two before to League One. I think there's a better calibre of player. I think you get probably punished more for mistakes and sort of the cliche things, really. But to be able to make so many appearances last season was obviously really pleasing for myself, and also to play with so many of the academy lads at the time. I remember Sparksy being in there, MJ at the start, we had Josh, Archie, and all people that we've sort of grown up with as well. So it was really nice to share the pitch with some of those younger lads that I've come through with, and also some experienced heads around the club as well. And you got 4 goals that season as well, and that goal against Port Vale won the EFL Goal of the month as well, so that must be something that you're still to this day very proud of. Yeah, really proud of it. I remember obviously the strike, and I remember the celebration and things like that after, and then I remember you calling me at the end of the month and was like, "Oh, it's been awarded, or you've been put up nominated for it," and I was like, "Oh, I hope I win." I was looking at the others thinking, well, there's a couple that could beat me here. I remember there's a couple of nice ones, but obviously I'm really grateful to everyone that sort of voted for that, and obviously it was a panel of judges that voted for it as well. So like I say, for me to get that, being my first season in League One and being the first month in that league as well, I was just over the moon with it. And I guess, you've had spells in your career here where you've had some injuries that have kind of held you back and stuff and made it difficult. Was it really important that you managed to get through, 44 games last season as well that showed your durability? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've sort of been a bit unfortunate at the start of this season with my knee that I had to have the operation on at the start of the season. And that probably made it a bit difficult when breaking into the first team breaking into the team after that. But like you say, you want to be playing every single game as a footballer, and to be able to play that many games was just absolutely amazing. And when you're not involved or you're not picked for the weekend, as you can imagine, as being a professional footballer, as competitive as people are, you're rightly annoyed about it. So to be able to keep performing at a high level for the manager to pick me was really pleasing. And also it goes without saying that things like family and things like that are important at those moments. And I feel I should give, like I say, credit to my parents and also to my partner, because when you do have those moments in football, like I say with my knee, and she's going around the house getting stuff for me, food, etc., and I'm on crutches and things like that, and I've got to give great sort of credit to people around you as well, friends, family, because in those moments it is difficult. You want to be out there playing football. I'm sat in the stand on crutches and you think, I want to be out there, I want to be with the lads, I want to be contributing. And when we were obviously doing so well at the start of the season, it's so difficult to sort of course you want the team to do well, but you also want to be involved in that. So like I say, I've got to give great credit to my partner and parents and friends, because in those moments to have good support is huge.
This season, appearances have been a bit harder to come by, but you still have made 24, and you're involved in that incredible Carabao Cup run as well, and that match against Luton. So that must be some special memories to take away as well. Yeah,
I think that's probably the highlight of the year, I think, for us as a club, and it's just a shame that in that Middlesbrough game we were so close to backing it up and going on one more. Obviously it wasn't meant to be that day, but the performance we put in against Luton was really good. And like I say, I remember those scenes like it was yesterday, with Demi scoring down there in front of the big bank, and those nights are what makes SJP so special. You hear it's been raining, the pitch is wet, the fans are singing, the lights are on, you scored late against a Premier League side, and those moments will live with fans forever. And like I say, it's just a shame, and they live with players as well, but it's just a shame that we weren't able to follow that up. But that doesn't take away from the fact how well we played that day, and that we knocked a Premier League side out of a big and important cup competition as well.
I mean, I think you've, over the last few years since you started playing the first team, you've been involved and seen the development of the club as a whole as well. Look at the attendance visas we get, look at how different the stadium looks and stuff, and it's definitely a club that's pushing forward all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you look at the training ground is a huge one from what that was before. I think anyone that had been there would say, it wasn't great before, like the building wasn't great, but now we've got really good League One facilities that don't only help the staff but also help the players, help everyone around the building. I mean, the nutrition side of it's much better, the facilities are much better, the gym, etc. And the stadium's come on a lot more with like the scoreboard and obviously the Adam Stansfield a couple of years ago. So it's come on so much, and I'm sure the club will just keep progressing because it's very, very good financially and looks after what they have. So I'm sure in the future it's only going to get better for the club.
And you mentioned it a couple of times as well, but you'll leave us having made over 100 appearances and just the age of 23. So that's an impressive stat and something that will set you up for your future career as well. Yeah,
I'm really proud to have made the 100th appearance, and I've got to say thank you to the manager for that as well. I've got to say thank you to Gary. I mean, in the position with me leaving at the end of the season, he didn't have to give me 100 appearances. We sort of spoke a couple of months ago and he said, you will play 100 games for me, and I said, look, I really do appreciate it, because to play 100 games for your home club is a big milestone to hit. And I got to thank obviously Matty, who was here before as well, for giving me my chances. I've got to thank both of them because they've given me chances at different stages of my career. Matty giving me chances to break through from a young pro into the first team, so I've got to thank him hugely to play the amount of games I did for him, and also to Gary to be able to play 44 games last season in League One. I think he said is the amount I could only have dreamt of at the start of the season. So I got to thank both of them. I come away from the club just thinking of good memories. I come away from the club thinking of good people. I've had great memories at the club, and they'll always be, wherever I do end up, I'll always be one of the first scores I do look at and think, I hope they're doing well, I hope they're pushing up towards the right end of the league, because I think, like you say, they've got the infrastructure, we've got the structure now, the ground, the training ground to be able to keep pushing on. And I think if, like I say, the team we've got now and a couple of sort of recruitments from the players that are leaving in the summer, I think there's no reason why this team and club can't just keep pushing on and on.
And when you think of Exeter City in a few years, what are those long-lasting memories that you're going to take with you, would you say?
Like I say, I think the promotion's probably the biggest one. Just coming through as a young player, like I say, I still remember my debut, still remember league debut, the goal against Port Vale, and there's lots of different memories. But there's memories also that go past that. I mean, coming through the academy, playing football on a Sunday when it's raining at whatever team, with just having fun with your friends as well. It gets you away from, like I say, just having a group of friends that you have in school. You gain like another friendship group with coming to the academy, and I think that's so important. And honestly, there's countless memories I can sort of take away. But like I say, I think probably riding all of it would be that promotion season, getting over the line.
I think just finally as well, as an academy graduate, it always feels like you guys have like that closer connection with the fans as well, and they've been really supportive to you in your time here. I mean, do you have a final message for them?
Oh, they've been excellent. Football is a game of highs and lows. I've had moments that have been really high, and I've had moments that have been low, and they've supported me and the team throughout that. And they're so loyal. They are such a good fan base. Around Christmas time, when we were struggling on that run, they were the 12th man. They got behind us, they pushed us on, and we've been able to turn it around. And the run we've been on has been incredible since the new year. So, just wanted to say a huge thank you to them. It's been an absolute pleasure playing for the club. Like I say, coming out through, and it's been an absolute pleasure playing in front of them. And I just wanted to say thank you. Really, their support's been amazing in the time I've been here.
Harry, thank you so much. Thank you for always saying yes to anything we've ever asked of you. I know you're going to pass that baton on soon. And
I'll try and find someone who will do that for you, for sure.
And good luck in your future career. We'll be keeping an eye on how you get on.
Thank you.